All right. So the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and you can't help but ask the question, so now what? Where do you go from here? You've won three Super Bowls. They've been to four Super Bowls in 5 seasons at this point, and they've, again, won three of them. In Mahomes' 6 years, he's been a starter. They've either won the Super Bowl, lost in the Super Bowl once, and then two conference championship game overtime losses. That's his down season is overtime in the conference championship. It's been incredible. But okay, still, there's more to the team than just one player. What do they need to do here? What's their free agent situation, cap situation, all that good stuff? Well, you look at their cap situation and cash, they're looking all right, actually. They have a good amount of cash available. Cap space might not quite as good, but again, you can finagle that. You can, there's things you can do, right? So, okay, right off the bat, for a team that just won the Super Bowl, they're actually in a better situation than you might think. But again, sometimes when you have cap space, there is a reason for it, and it's because you have key players who you have to re-sign. You look at their free agents they have to re-sign, and this isn't everybody. These are just the key players. And the number next to their name is how many millions they're projected to get in the offseason, given either Sports Track projections or Pro Football Focus projections. And they have two star players that you have to look at. I mean, Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed. These are two like superstars at their position, and you don't want to let either of them walk. L'Jarius Sneed's young, and I actually think 18 million a year feels low. I think he might get more than that. So you might be looking in, spending 50 plus million on those two guys if you keep them. There's been questions of, do you keep Chris Jones? You can franchise tag Jones. That was kind of the weird thing that happened. But do you want to go out and pay 30 million for a defensive lineman? It's debatable, especially when he's going to be 30 next year. I don't know, but they didn't do it with Tyreek Hill. They might not do it with Jones. At the same time, Jones is really good. So if you're losing him, that is losing a key piece. Mike Edwards, Drew Tranquil, Mike Dana, Willie Gay, those are all good pieces for the defense. And you could certainly be without any of those guys. You need to replace them if you let them walk, right? So definitely guys you have to pay attention to. Donovan Smith at the left tackle position, I think they're probably going to go with an upgrade there. He is a two-time Super Bowl champion at this point, but I think that they probably do look for an upgrade at the left tackle position. Again, McCall Hardman, kind of like I said, can let him walk, but you'd have to replace him. Tommy Townsend, another guy who, if you let walk, you have to replace. So definitely some key free agents. It's not quite as simple as, oh, they're good, nothing to worry about. No, there's some question marks, I think it's fair to say. But here's the good thing. These three players, this is how much millions they would save by cutting these players. Justin Reed, who I like as a player, but I mean, being able to save 11 million, I think he's gone. MVS is definitely gone, saving 12 million. I mean, again, he did some nice things for them, but no, they're moving off. Charles Omenihu, I think it's probably also. I think they'll probably move off of him to save the 7 million if they want to. So that's 30 million that you can save right there, which completely makes things better. Again, this chart, so this is kind of everything. Like I said, 23 million or 24 million in cap space and 78 in cash. If they wanted to re-sign everybody I put on that list, they could do it. Like they really could, and they could also save 30 million. It's possible. I'm just saying it's possible for them to re-sign everyone they want to sign and still go out and add a piece. Like that's possible. And whether that's a left tackle or a wide receiver, do they get Mike Evans? I mean, that would be, why not, right? What if you let Chris Jones walk because your defense is still probably going to be good without him, and go out and get Mike Evans and get that elite outside threat? Can you imagine something like that? That would be fun to watch. I mean, there's a lot of ways the Chiefs can play this. So where do the Chiefs go from here? Again, they're going to be the favorites to win every game. And I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl every single year, probably. I guess I can't say definitively they won't, but definitely. Well, this season was amazing if you're a Chiefs fan. I still think if you're in the front office, you look at this and say, okay, we still weren't perfect as an organization this year. Like, yes, we ultimately got the victory, but this Super Bowl could have absolutely gone different ways. And even in the conference championship, it was brought up on the broadcast that Mahomes went his longest stretch without a touchdown in his career, and he did that in the conference championship game and Super Bowl, which they won. So, the defense is awesome and Mahomes is awesome, but I don't think you want to force the defense and Mahomes to have to be as good as they had to be at times in this postseason run, right? It's maximizing your championship window because you're the Chiefs, you have Mahomes, you have Andy Reid, you should be competing, you should be the favorite to win a Super Bowl every year. Don't make it difficult. So, like again, Jawan Taylor's contract was not a great one. Don't feel like you have to go out and pay a left tackle a big money if it's not the right fit, in my opinion. And addressing the wide receiver position is something that they do have to look at, in my opinion. If it's me though, if I'm the Chiefs, what I do is I address offense through the draft. And I'm re-signing everybody. I'm re-signing everybody. I just am. I know, like, yes, you have to look forward and all this stuff. And Chris Jones is one you could consider like tagging and trading. That's an option, which again, that tag thing is so huge because, like, I wouldn't hate that. In fact, maybe that's what I would actually do is I would see if you can get a first round pick to get a team to take Jones off your hands. Because again, yes, he's a free agent, but if you want to be the one who's able to give him the money, that franchise tag really comes in handy because he doesn't want to get tagged, I'm sure. So, for a team, does Cincinnati give you a first round pick, or does whoever? Maybe you get a late first round pick, early second round pick, something like that. But if you get an opportunity like that, like that could be an interesting move, and then use that to again try to be more complete on offense because I still think there's like this is a flawed football team. It is. They're just so good at what they're so good at. They're still a championship winning team. It's amazing. I can't remember a situation like this. Like this is not. I feel like as complete of a team last year's team was, but they were so good last year. Even with that, they're still able to be good enough to win a Super Bowl this year. So yeah, that's kind of my logic. Is I'm free signing most players. I think I'm looking for an upgrade at left tackle. I'm looking for someone to help out Rasheed Rice and Kelsey. I'm hoping Kelsey's stay doesn't retire because that's another aspect. But I think he'll probably come back. He still had a good season and won a Super Bowl. Usually you come back after that. So yeah, I think those are that's what I would do personally. And I think that again, it's interesting because you have Mahomes, you should be competing for a Super Bowl every year, and they are competing for a Super Bowl every year. And even if they've made mistakes, what they've done to make up for it has been incredible. And like that draft from 2 years ago, one of the all-time drafts. Like that might go down as one of the greatest drafts you'll ever see. So that definitely helps as well. As you got a lot of talent you're not paying on top of having the best asset in sports, which is Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on where I think where the Chiefs are and where I think they should go from here. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.